Hello and welcome back. So welcome to a new Pan That Palette introduction. I am very excited. In case you missed it, all of 2018 I was panning the Tartelette in Bloom. I will link that playlist if you want to catch up on that. And let me show you the new palette I will be working on. And I chose the original Chocolate Bar palette. Obviously you've seen this palette many times. It's been around for a long time. Before I talk a little bit more about it, I do want to share a little confession / embarrassing story about this palette. So I bought this originally close to when it first came out, and I used this shade Salted Caramel a lot, and I did hit pan on it, but I didn't really use the rest of the palette, so I ended up decluttering it. Well, fast forward 6 months later, I decided that I missed this palette, and I bought it again. I did use Ulta points the second time, but still. So this is the second one I have owned. To add to that embarrassment, I've only used this palette like 10 times since I repurchased it. So yeah, I'm on my second one. I've had this one for almost 2 years now. I got it at the beginning of 2017. So that is why I chose this palette, because I apparently wanted it so badly, but I've hardly used it. So anyway, that is a sad story, but let me show you what it looks like now. Here it is. As you can tell, there's not much use on it. I have not used this very much at all. Now, I did use it today and I got this whole look, except I ended up adding a green shade because I used the shade Gilded Ganache, and that one just is like a dark shadow. It doesn't look that green. In the pan, it looks pretty green. But yeah, once you get it on the eye, it just looks dark, almost black. So that's a bummer, but that's okay. Now, as far as goals, last year, well, it's still 2018 right now, but in 2018, I did the Tartelette in Bloom, and my goal was to hit 5 pans, and I actually hit 8 pans. So that was pretty good. Now, I used that mostly as a companion palette, brow bone, blending, and eyebrows. I did not do full looks with it more than a handful of times because I was experimenting with other palettes, and that palette is just very neutral, and I've been more into colorful looks lately. Now, this palette does have some kind of colorful shades, nothing crazy, but I mean, you've got a pink, you've got a burgundy, you've got purples, and this green, but the problem with these purples and that green, like I mentioned, they just kind of look dark on the eyes. They don't really show that true to color, which is unfortunate, but oh well. So I'm thinking maybe trying to hit pan on 5 eyeshadows, because, so the Tartelette in Bloom is big pans, but it's pretty powdery. This is not. This is a much tightly pressed formula, so it is not as powdery as the Tarte palette. So that is something I need to keep in mind, because it's going to take longer to hit pan than it did in that one. So I feel like I'm going to have to use this a lot more than I used my 2018 palette. Now, it is more variety of shades, but I haven't really used it that much to really know how I feel about a lot of them. I'm not sure right now. I don't know. But I'm thinking 5 pans will be my goal. It would be great if I could do more. Part of the reason also that I did not do as well on the 2018 was, well, I mean, I did well, but I didn't like finish up any shades or anything because I bought a lot of new eyeshadow palettes, so I was busy experimenting with those, and I was only using it as a companion palette. So I'm trying not to buy as much eyeshadow this year because obviously I have a lot. So I'm hoping then because of that, I can get more use on this. So yeah, I'm hoping to pan on 5 shades. We'll see. These are very tightly pressed eyeshadows, so that is not going to be easy. I have watched a lot of people pan this palette, and yeah, it is not easy going, but people have done it. I mean, people finished this whole thing in a year, which I will not be doing. I mean, that's just not going to happen. But yeah, hopefully I can make some good progress. I'm very excited. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you to everyone who watched all of my 2018 progress. And yeah, that's it. So wish me luck.